All right. Hey guys, how's it going? Hope you're all doing well. So today is, I think, April 2nd, 3rd. It's going to be April 3rd soon in like 10, 15 minutes. So yeah, today I decided to create my first video. I would like say content, some sort of. Because I used to create a content different types, but today's like actually first time, first day I'm trying to basically create a content using my face, which doesn't look good right now. I'm quite tired and looking at this part of my jawline, I got a little bit fat, but I've been doing good. So yeah, I'm quite motivated to create my first video. And the reason why I did it because it's been 8 years since I decided that I want to create a content. I want to do something that is related to creating a content, basically um sharing your experience with people, talking about something on. Yeah, I wasn't like that much fan of talking to a camera, but rather than having a conversation with people. So it's like sharing your thoughts, your ideas, or maybe like something that happens to you. So you're just basically telling to random people. um and the reason why I wasn't doing it for these 8 years is simply because I had certain concerns, I'd like to say, about myself, about my self-esteem. Also, I had a fear of failure, I would like to say, because to be honest, most of us have that fear. But for some reason, I'm doing quite well. So right now I'm talking because if I was doing the same thing like 1 month ago, 1.5 months ago, I would have started here and I would have stuttered and I would have do a lot of editing. I would have been satisfied. I would have had a lot of thoughts that it's not going good. It's quite messed up. So I got to recreate a video, but it's going good. It's going good. The only problem is this the flashlight that's pointing out to my face and kind of like hurting my eyes because it's almost 12 a.m. a.m. or p.m. a.m. Yeah. So yeah, but th- today I wanted to talk basically why I wasn't doing the content, why I wasn't doing not only just content basically with my life, why I wasn't making a step toward my dreams, my goals, and toward the things that I was actually thinking about trying, but I've never tried. It's I would like to compare it to the what teenagers have, that when you look at a girl and you're like, okay, should I approach her? Should not? Should I tell her that she looks cute or something like that? But at the same time, you have that fear that you're gonna get rejected or you're gonna get ignored, and you're not gonna make any step. And certain people, I know that they used to tell me like, you know what, like there's like 3 4 years past, and they think about a moment, what would have happened if they actually take that step, make that step, approach the girl they liked or the guy they liked or whatever, and just try it. If you had a failure, you would have just think like after 3 4 years, well, I messed up at that point of my life. Or if you get older and you start understanding a lot of things, so you would have thought like, whatever, it happened, it was in the past. So right now everything is way more different. So you're not gonna potentially care about that. But for some reason, I had this kind of fear of failure for years. To be honest, I think it started when I first became a conscious. The idea of being a conscious when you hit a certain age in your childhood, when you suddenly turn into a conscious human being, when you suddenly start collecting memories, you start remembering your childhood even after 10, 15, 20 years. Although all of these memories have a portion of, I'd like to say, portion of fakeness in them, since the memories, they change over time, correct? We don't remember 100% what happened like 10, 15 years ago when we were 5, 6, but we have a certainly some memories. We have some understanding of what kind of person we were, and what ideas basically we had on what type of attitude and characteristics or whatever we had. So yeah, it was one of them, because simply I grew up as a person quite critical, especially toward myself. Um, I was quite radical, not just like basically I was critical, but I was like huge radical on this kind of things. And I don't know what was the problem. I mean, I have an idea what was the problems, but I don't want to go too deep to that. It's quite personal for now. Maybe it's gonna take some time, right? Maybe like I'll make another video about it and tell like what are the reasons that you might have that affects your self-esteem and what you need to do potentially to become better. But yeah, it's been years, and also another fact that I grew up in a society quite I want to say conservative, because it's not like that. I mean, conservative as a political view is different, but rather than conservative mentality, where everybody is quite same and you're not allowed to be different. You're not allowed to have some sort of self-expression. And the problem is not my family. The problem is overall, generally, the society that you grow up. Because usually when you walk and you see people there, just looking at you, judging you. Imagine if this kind of things happened in US. You're walking at 12 a.m. You wanted some nighttime snack, and you're dressed with your sleep dress. Just basic old t-shirt, old it's like, say, not jeans but pants, and you're walking around and people are looking at you as some sort of like a weirdo. Yeah, but in my society, it used to be quite a bigger problem. When you're dressed well, but you're not dressed as other people, you would have, or you're acting as you're not acting as other people. You're quite a little bit louder. You're smiling. It would have caused some sort of reaction to you, that people would look at you and they would be like, "Oh, what's wrong with this dude?" And also, yeah. By the way, if my English cause certain concerns into your head that I'm not speaking well, please be patient. First of all, because it's my first video, and I think I'm doing quite well. And second of all, English is not my main language. It's the third language out of huge amount of languages that I speak. So I hope that's not gonna concern you and bother you while you're listening to this monologue. So yeah, if you go down to comments and write some comments, it's gonna be dialogue, I think. Yeah, I'll try my best to respond and write my own ideas or give some advice if people need my advices. Yeah, but yeah, let's get back to this idea of having being self-critic, self-critical toward yourself. And the problem is, it's been 8 years, and I hadn't achieved nothing in this field that I always had interest. Whenever I used to open YouTube, whenever I used to check the streamers, I've used to see them, and I had that passion inside me used to, turn on. I used to have that fire, like, oh, you know what? These guys are doing the things that I would like to do. Not basically just like, putting the camera and talking, but rather than having some sort of interaction with people, sharing their thoughts and being some kind of like, a person who people have interested in, and being a person whose other people just open their videos and look at them and actually listen to their ideas, or maybe respect them so much that they might actually not only just listen, but rather than take some of their advices as something wise and smart or useful and apply it in their own life. I love that idea, especially especially thinking about the fact that I'm quite a little bit narcissistic person. Not a little bit, but quite a bit. So yeah, I love attention. And yeah, that's the thing, being a YouTuber, vlogger, streamer, or whatever else, it's actually it's quite good for boosting your ego, that you're posting the videos and people are listening to you. So yeah, that I had this passion, but for some reason I wasn't doing it, which was a lower self-esteem. I wasn't sure that my thoughts are worth to be shared on the internet and to be shared to other people, or they're not worth to be heard by other people. But I actually noticed that I'm quite an interesting person. I'm not trying to, boost myself, and it's not a narcissistic moment, but rather than I've actually paid attention that people, they want to have conversation with me, they want to hang out. Whenever they have certain problems, they actually write me or call me and ask me like, hey, bro, I have these kind of problems. Like, what kind of advice can you give me? And if they were just using me as their pillow for their tears, um, I know it makes sense. Certain people actually do this to actually just come to me, whine, and spread their negativeness, put it out, lash it out, and go away, be by themselves. But there were certainly also other people who actually needed some advice, because they looked at me as someone smart or someone wiser or someone who achieved more, which I don't think it's that much, because I think a lot of my success in my life, they're not, first of all, they're not big. Second of all, they're just because I got lucky. Yeah. But actually, this idea that I'm actually quite worthful and I'm more than that I usually think about myself is brought me here than turning on this camera. It's 12 a.m. I don't want to do this work at all, but I'm actually doing it. So yeah, I'm kind of proud of myself. Yeah. Uh Also, what I would like to talk about also, it's kind of weird for me being a narcissistic person and at the same time having lower self-esteem. But logically it makes sense because when you have lower self-esteem, you need some sort of validation. And my form is like being a narcissistic person, thinking about your achievements and, gave some love to yourself, which makes you think like, you know what? Oh yeah, I'm getting that thing that's gonna boost my self-esteem. It's not gonna be that much lower. I typically work on the most of the problems with my self-esteem, but still, when you grow up, I'm currently 22 years old, so 22 years of your life, and huge amount of your life, you have that problem. Certainly, it becomes part of your character. It becomes part of your personality. So yeah, maybe creating a video also is actually it's gonna actually help me with this problem too. And yeah, let's move out to the fear of failure. We have the second thing. One is this lower self-esteem, that I'm not worth to be looked at, but at the same time, lower self-esteem burned that fire inside me that, I want people to hear me. I want people to look up at me. I want people to pay attention to me and actually take me serious, having some sort of validation, becoming some kind of like leader of mine as a leader, and being like, some person being leader of mind, I would say. It's not, I don't think in English it makes sense to say this kind of thing, but in Russian it makes sense. There is a saying like leader of minds, which means like being super smart or being a person to whom other people actually look up. So yeah, moving further, the second problem is fear of failure. I'm currently 22. I tried so many things in these last 2 years that I did not try for like 20 years of my life. Let's not consider my childhood. I would like to say starting from teenage. It was like 10 to 11 years old. So it's been like 10 years since I didn't achieve that much, and in these last 2 years I achieved so many things, to which actually vanished that fear of failure, that, I did so many things, let's give it a shot. I always have a dream about it. Why not? Because, in order for you to have a thought why it's worth to try the things that you want to try, let's imagine that tomorrow I find out that I have a cancer, you know? Thanks God I don't have it, but if the first thought that I would have, like, I'm dead. But the second thing is like, why the fuck I didn't try so many things that I would like to try in my life? Why there were so many things that I was thinking, okay, you know what? Maybe I should try this. Maybe I should become this person, that person. And I didn't even give it a shot. I didn't did a step. And right now I'm sitting with a cancer, potentially, and I'm thinking like, okay, my life might be over in a few months, years, or maybe I'm gonna get healthy. But yeah, the chances are low, and you're gonna die. There is either an afterlife to which you're gonna be happy for a good person, or you're gonna suffer if you're a bad person, or you're gonna have the concept of rebirth, uh, and you're gonna come back as an ant or um as a chicken or whatever. But yeah, but or there is also another concept that there might be nothing. You know, because I'm personally I'm a religious person. I'm not that much like super religious, but I certainly believe in God. I would say I'm a believer because being a religious, I wouldn't make this kind of statements because I'm not that religious, which is not a thing that I'm proud of since I'm a believer and I have certain views at the religious views. So it's better if I do some steps to become closer to God, become closer to God, and become pure and more pure inside. Purer might sound good also, but more pure makes more sense in my head. To become more pure inside and closer to God, and actually find that inner peace inside me, because which I don't have actually. I have a lot of thoughts, concerns, overthinking, and a lot of other problems. I might also have an ADHD, but I don't like to give this kind of, this kind of symptoms to myself like certain people do, around you, we all got that person who is like, oh, I have depression, I have ADHD, I have this, I have that, I'm this kind of like super person with all of these mental disorders and all of that things. Look at me, like, I'm not that kind of person. But yeah, I would like to call myself a nervous person, which I'm quite nervous. You pay attention because I'm smiling like an idiot at certain points of each like 15 seconds and laughing off, having small laughs. Fear of failure. So yeah, I'm a believer, not a religious person. But what if there is nothing? So you die, and there is just blank darkness. There's nothing else. Uh, there's no angel of death. There's nothing. You just died, and that's it. Boom. There's nothing. I just messed up my whole life. I spent 22 years of life potentially achieving something, but not doing something big or something that I would like to achieve. Because I'm not the kind of person who's like fear of, losing their life just by doing nothing. I'm a person who's has a fear that I'm gonna die without achieving or trying the things that I would like to try, because there are certain people who don't care about the money, personal achievements, or nothing. You just give them their basic needs such as food, video games, TikTok, roof over their head, and they're fine, and they're good. But I'm not that type of person. I have huge ambitions. I want to achieve huge things, and I was this kind of person since I was a child, because I didn't grow up in a rich family. I had some struggles when I was a child, so the money, the achievements, and everything, especially with having a lower self-esteem, which lead to me become a narcissistic person, lead to the point that I'm quite ambitious person. And I'm just dying. Like, imagine if I got a cancer, like I'm gonna die in few years or few weeks, few months. It doesn't matter. I'm potentially a that person who's just trying to give himself some time to in order to not die by doing chemo and all that thing. I would have just think like, why the hell I didn't started YouTube at the time. I had 8 years since I first start thinking about what if I become a YouTuber? 8 years. 8 years is a huge gap, actually. If I would try even just making random bullshit videos or something else, just trying out making videos in these 8 years, at least once a month, it would have been just one multiplying by 12. It's going to be 12 videos per year. 12 multiplying by 8 is going to be 96 videos. And God knows, like, by 96 videos, what would I've achieved over these 8 years. Or let's take it far more further. If I was making one video per week, which would have led, because this kind of videos are quite easy to do. You're just turning on the camera and doing something. It would have been like 4 videos a month, but potentially there's 56 weeks per year, so 56 videos per year. Multiplying it by 12 is going to be 600. 600 plus 72 is going to be 672 videos. Oh, I'm multiplying it by 12. No, 56. Yeah, not 12 years, by 8. 56 multiplying by 8 is going to be 400. 400 plus 48, 448 videos. Which is, I think, a lot of YouTubers, they don't even have that amount of videos. I mean, the people who make a long format videos. Potentially, what would I've achieved? I would have maybe become a millionaire. I would have like a few million subscribers, maybe a few 100,000, maybe like 50, 60, 80, 90,000. It doesn't matter. But still, imagine like 90,000. Okay, let's take a look. 50,000 people, which is very easy to achieve in today's reality. How easy it is to gain subscribers. Potentially 50,000 people looking at you. I used to go to a school where there was like 1,200 students. 1,200. And 1,200 compared to 50,000. Because 1,200, when I used to go to that school, I used to look at these huge amount of kids. I was like, so much people. And I had this thought when I was in 5th grade, I'm thinking like, oh, 1,200 people. I mean, around plus minus 100 children, but I'm taking like 1,200. There's so many people. 1,200. It's a huge crowd. Huge crowd. Because we hear like there's 8 billion people, 1,200. It's nothing. Some cities have like millions of people in them living. 1 million, 2 million, 12 million, 15 million, 30 million. 1,200, it's nothing. But in my sense of reality, 1,200 is a huge amount of people. You look at these 1,200, it's a huge crowd. And imagine that you have like 50,000 people looking at you, subscribe to you, listening to you. They are interested in you. I think it can be a potentially an army, of certain countries. I say 50,000. I mean, generally they're way more, but 50,000. What if you have like 300,000? That's actually a quite big army, a big crowd. But I mean, if you convert it to the reality of countries, like some countries have that amount, like, troops, like active troops, in case of something happens. Which leads to the thinking, like, 300,000, it's a huge influence. I'm not talking about millions. Yeah, I would have achieved that kind of thing. I would have been quite grateful. I would have been proud of myself that 50,000 people have interest in me. 50 freaking thousand. But yeah, but my aim is right now to at least achieve 1 million. Not right now, but in a potential 4 years. For now, I'm just dreaming about having a 10,000. It's a huge dream. If we get to the 10,000, I'm gonna celebrate it. We might do something good. We might do some charity. I mean, I do it myself without these videos, but we might do something as a video format and something way more bigger than I do usual. Because by having 10,000, it's quite a serious step. You gotta become more serious, do something better, bigger than you do the usual. Yeah, just don't think that I'm gonna do the charity just because I hit the 10,000. Yeah, I'm not that type of person. I'm not like that generous charity giver, but I do small charities. Yeah, but what I usually love about myself is like, yeah, narcissistic moment that I don't usually talk about it because no matter how much narcissist I am, I don't actually say like, oh, I donated these people so much, I donated to that people so much, because it's kind of stupid, you know, because it's not something like to be proud of. Oh yeah, I gave money. No, because uh, you got blessed by God, by fate, by whatever, just or by just luck, depends on what you believe, or by karma, that you're having certain goods in your life that other people don't have, that you are privileged at a certain people. So it's good, you know, just to share something, part of that blessing with other people, because for you it might be something small, but for them it might be huge. It's like thinking about that, a certain parts of the world people are earning less than $1 a day. So if you give them $10, it's nothing. Imagine that. It's like maybe like 10, 15 days of his work. $10. For US people, $10 is nothing. But for other people, it's huge. 15 days of work. That guy's might working like 6 days a week, 7 days a week, 7, 8 hours at least, hard physical work in mines, and they're making less than $1, and you give them $10. That guy would freak out, you know? But yeah, just make sure where you're donating, you know, in order not to get scammed. In order to not get scammed. But yeah, so yeah, let's get back to our to our fear of losing our topic, because I'm jumping from one topic to another, and this is my problem. It might make the video less interesting. But yeah, uh, the point is, I start thinking like I kind of feel so bad and messed up, depressed right now. I was like, why not trying out? Let me try. If I don't achieve it, then okay, whatever. But what if I achieve like just 30, 40 minutes of my life? I'm sitting here once a week talking in a camera and sharing it, and people will be like, oh yeah, he's kind of interesting, let's look at him, let's watch him. I would have achieved my dream in these 8 years. But I used to suffer from these thoughts, you know. I used to think like, oh, what if I start like 2 years ago and I would have achieved way more? What if I start 4 years ago and I would have achieved more? What if whatever? It's all bullshit, guys. You shouldn't be thinking like this. Why? Because it's better to start now, because you already lost at that time. And by me saying not to worry, is what I mean is, when I used to go to these thoughts, I used to think like 5 years ago, I used to think, what if I started making YouTube 3 years ago? I would have achieved so many things. And I was suffering from these thoughts. I was overthinking, and I didn't start it actually. So another 5 years were wasted. And each year I was suffering. I was thinking I should have do something, I should have do something, I should have do something, but I didn't do anything. So yeah, and which leads to the conclusion that don't suffer. You already messed up. Whatever happened just happened. Accept that. Let it use as a motivation. Think that you messed up so many years of your life. Times to make a big change. You shouldn't suffer. You shouldn't think like, oh, I lost so many years of my life, then I'm miserable, I'm these and that. No, you're a great soul. If you're thinking about changing your life, it means you're in the right path. So what takes you to actually take an action is make small steps. One small step. Make a step, make a step, make a step. And you might don't see the differences, but imagine like 1 year passes, 2 years passes, 3 years pass, and you look at it, you have like 100, 150 videos, which is huge. And you see the progress in these few years. Same thing, just, you know, go for running half a mile, 0.2 miles, because you're not physically fit, right? And then once you make 0.2 miles freely, you start making half a mile, 1 mile, 2 mile, 3 mile, and imagine like 3 4 years you're running a marathon. That would potentially happen. Whatever you're planning to do and you're not doing, please get and do it. Well, I started like using a jump rope. I was thinking about using a jump rope for at least 6 months, and I never tried it. But last 3 days, I'm actually jumping at least 2-3 minutes, which is very small because 2 days ago I made my first day because I was fasting, so I wasn't able. No, I wouldn't be able to jump because you need. It's kind of exhausting. I was using it as an excuse to not do anything, but as usual. But yeah, 2 days ago I started first. I jumped a few times, like 20 times in total of my whole workout. My knees started hurting just because of I stopped having physical life, like moving around, running, all that thing. And yesterday I wasn't doing anything because I was super exhausted. Actually, this is quite a good excuse because it was very exhausting yesterday. But yeah, um, yeah, today I had more energy, so I jumped actually 4 times more than the first day, which is still not that much. It was in total, it was 3-4 minutes of active jumping, but it's nothing. I was super exhausted because I wasn't doing anything physical for at least 3 years. But yeah, but it's compared to the first day, it's 4 times bigger. And once I get to it as a habit, imagine me jumping 10-15 minutes every day after classes, before classes, or I just wake up and I do it. Imagine what kind of achievements I would have. I would have lose like all of this weight, or I would have, because I would have started thinking this amount of physical pressure is not enough for my muscles. I would have started working out more professionally, and in 2-3 years I would have become like super giga chad, good looking masculine man. I think I'm a giga chad right now. Yeah, but yeah, you get that, you get what I mean. So it doesn't make sense thinking me about me sitting and thinking like these, like, oh, I could have achieved more in these 6 months, I wasn't doing it. Why not making it right now? Take an action, make a step, even a small, even if you're planning to record a video, just record what is happening in your life, what is inside your mindset. Even if this video is shitty, I actually think this video is quite shitty. Because first of all, I don't have any experience. Second of all, English is 1 year ago I wasn't speaking so well English. In 1 year my English actually changed a lot. But yeah, not only this, I also had lower self-esteem. I had I had a lot of problems with overthinking. I was quite depressed. I'm still depressed because a lot of things happening in my life. But yeah, still I'm trying to do it, and I know it's gonna look shitty. I know it's not gonna take that much views, but I definitely know that I will get into something. I definitely know that 1 or 2 years gonna pass. I'll turn on this camera, and trust me, things will be way more different. Excuse me, my bad. Things will be way more different than they are right now. Because currently I have a problem, like, I jump from one thought to another thought, and my videos might be not that good. But over time, I'm gonna learn how to start thinking appropriately for videos, how to start making an outline, having some sort of preparation before the video. The reason why I didn't do an outline, because today I would have sat and think, oh, I need an outline. What I need for an outline? I need a paper, I need a pen, which I don't have in my car. So I would have like, okay, I'm gonna go home. I'm going home. It's 12 a.m. I'm not gonna record video because I have neighbors who are sleeping. I don't want to bother them. Like certain people are crazy. Actually, they don't care about, like, other people's are living with them in the same block, or same building, or same house, or whatever. But yeah, that's why I was like, let me record even a shitty video and upload it, even if I'm not gonna even edit it. Let me upload it. At least I did something. Even it's gonna be like first 10 videos gonna be shitty, but at least I'm starting doing the videos. At least I'm getting into something. At least I'm motivated by something. Because like, motivation is shitty, if I oh yeah, let's get to the next thought. I'm done with the previous one. Is motivation and discipline. A lot of people watch these kind of like motivational videos, like where there's some like music, potentially like short format. You're watching TikTok shorts or reels when there's some sort of like businessman, rich guy, in their suits or like with their cigars, and there's a music talking about being successful, like, yo, like, I get all these women, I got so many money, these and that, I became trillionaire, I became billionaire, and you get motivated. But what you do is you just start scrolling further, and that's it. You're gonna waste another extra 2 hours of your life by not doing shit. That's what happens usually. But what about if you tell me, hey Sam, what about the motivation where you actually open YouTube and look at the long format videos with motivational? It's also bullshit, because you click on YouTube, you open your recommendation, you get distracted, you open something else, and you're gonna waste your evening. Motivation is shit. Motivation is good when you don't have energy to do anything. But you gotta keep in mind the thought that you have to take actions. If you don't have energy at all, then you need motivation. But your mentality, your mindset should be, wherever comes to your mind, you take a step. Whatever comes to your mind, you take a step. Whatever comes to your mind, you take a step. You do, and you do. That's it. I sound like these motivational people, but it's not kind of like, I'm not like trying to motivate you. I'm trying to basically explain to you, like, hey, whenever you have that intrusive thoughts in your head, like, what if I get motivated, I'm gonna just break the world, I'm gonna open 10 businesses overnight, I'm gonna become super giga chat, and you're like, let me just scroll one more video, and that's it. So you're gone. So yeah, you need a discipline, you need some sort of mentality. I need to make it. That's my job. That's what I want to do. That is my job. I want to do. And the final thought that there are many things to share, to be honest, but I'm thinking that I'm gonna keep jumping from one topic to another, and I'm gonna bother you guys. I actually care about you. I care about in what you're gonna spend your time. So I'm gonna talk a little bit less. I'm gonna talk about my final thoughts, final important thoughts, not like a bunch of other thoughts related to this topic. And there's gonna be certainly other videos, so it's not something like, it's not my first and last video, so that's why I don't have that feeling, what, if I don't put like other thoughts, I'm gonna miss the video, I'm gonna miss the opportunity, the FOMO effect. Yeah. And the final thought is why I decided to start this channel and actually documenting my life is generally the fact that I didn't achieve anything. A lot of people look at me around me and thinking I'm quite successful, but at 22, I don't have any skills. Because we are certainly good at something. I'm good at yapping right now. But if I look at the people around me, they are certainly good at certain things. They're so good. They're professionals. They're turning into professionals. In 3-4 years, they're going to be super professional. And I started looking at myself, what I can do professionally. And the answer is nothing. I'm a good speaker. I mean, at least what I think about myself. I'm a good speaker, but I'm not using it. I'm not having a channel. I'm not broadcasting. I'm not doing anything. Rather than just sitting with my friends and yapping and wasting my time. Why not waste this from all of these time that I'm wasting, actually 1 hour of this time, spend it on YouTube, build something. I didn't achieve anything. I don't have super professional skills. I don't know what's going to happen in my life in 2 years. My bad. I think I'm having allergic reaction to dust. I get it randomly. Yeah, I hope I'll be able to finish this video. So yeah, I didn't achieve anything. I don't have professional skills. I don't have time. I have a lot of problems in my life. At least for becoming a YouTuber, I'm not just a YouTuber, becoming some sort of like leader of minds. I would like to say, I have a passion. I have a good passion. Why not try to do this? 3, 4, 5, 6, or like these 8 years that I messed up, I didn't do anything. I would have become very good professional. Maybe I would have turned into becoming something more than just a YouTuber, businessman, because I also have a passion in business. Right now, currently, I'm finishing my education, getting a degree as a computer information system, which is, people will laugh at one of the most useless degrees, but I had a huge interest in technologies. I still have it, but after these 6 8 hours, I mean 8 years that I was trying to be someone at tech field, I finally found out that I don't like I like it, but I don't want to be professional in it. It's good as a hobby. It's good as doing some side project or something, but I don't want to become an IT specialist full time. Yeah, I have more passion about becoming a YouTuber, but since I wasn't taking it seriously because I had that mindset, you gotta find a job, you gotta find something secure in your life, and I was thinking, why not becoming a YouTuber or whatever that I have interest. I mean, like sharing my thoughts, right? And becoming someone good at it, and just being a coder, programmer, or AI user or whatever as a hobby. Working with technology as a hobby. Why not? Why I should become an IT specialist? Because I don't like it that much. I don't want to make my life full time with the IT. I have an interest in making money, especially through IT, because it's one of the most profitable niches, creator product, which I'm working right now. I'm actually have a few IT projects, but outside than that, I don't have that much of interest. I'm interested in money. I'm interested in becoming rich. But what's differs between the IT and YouTube, or me becoming a YouTuber, is the idea that for this one I have something else than money in my mind. Is to getting a recognition, validation, attention, becoming a big person in this field, popular, um, share my thoughts with people, bring something good to this world, because I also have that kind of altruistic mindset that I need to make this world better. I'm thinking about something global all the time, not just like, getting rich, getting better car, getting better house, that's it. No, I'm thinking about making this world better. Uh, at least when I'm gonna die, when I'm gonna get old, and I wouldn't be able to do anything. I would have looked at my life and be thinking like, oh, you know what? I did so many good things to this world. I changed so much people's lives, and so many things happened because of me. Good things, and people are grateful. Their lives are changed. They learned something from me. The knowledge, the things that I gave to the world, they're gonna pass to the next generation, to the next, to the next, and hopefully, I'm sure that nobody's gonna remember me, but hopefully, there's gonna be like 50, 100 years past, and it'd be like, oh yeah, there was a guy named Sam who did like these kind of things. He was a good guy. He achieved these. He achieved that. These and that. But yeah, I hope I'm gonna be good at it. I hope it's gonna my journey will be quite good. I hope I'm gonna achieve a lot of things. And thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you so much for being part of my journey. If you're subscribed, like this video or comment it. I'm not forcing anybody. I don't want to beg people, but I'll be very grateful if you do that. No matter if I get like a lot of views or not, or comments or likes or whatever, I'm gonna still keep doing this. But yeah, thank you so much for listening to this bullshit thoughts, as a monologue. Yeah, I'm very grateful. If this monologue helped you somehow, I'm glad that it helped you. So yeah, subscribe and wait for more videos. Bye bye.